Welcome to Speaking Answer Short Question Introduction. In this session, we are going to look at what this particular question type is. So, we'll cover all the basics. Plus, we'll also look at what are the key things that you should keep in mind while answering this question. Or, in other words, what to do to score well in this particular question type. The very first thing, that you should remember, you'll get about 10 to 12 questions of this type in your exam, and you essentially have to answer a short question. All right, so they'll ask you something and you have to answer that. In your answer, most of the times a word or a couple of words, they should be sufficient. So you don't have to make full sentences. A word or a couple of words will be sufficient. The the questions, they are not individually timed. So what that means is that you have to click on next to go to the next question. All right, this is what the screen will look like to you. So there'll be 3 seconds before which the audio will start playing. That is, the question will start playing. So make sure that you're focused and you're ready to listen to as soon as the audio starts playing. And after those 3 seconds, the audio will start playing. And as soon as the audio ends, the microphone will open up and you'll be expected to speak into it and give your answer, give your response. Okay? If you, for any reason, pause for more than 3 seconds, the microphone will close on its own. So don't pause for too long. Okay, just speak into it and then click next and go to the next question. Overall, the microphone will be open for 10 seconds. But I don't think you'll need 10 seconds to give your response because usually you only have a word or a couple of words that you need to speak, and then you can just click on next and go to the next question. So don't keep waiting for the 10 seconds to finish. It's a test of your listening and your speaking abilities. It is a question in the speaking section, but if you score well, you'll also get credit for your listening score overall. So that's good about this. Um, and when we say listening, we obviously mean the ability to listen and understand. That you are able to listen to a text and you are able to identify what's important there. And when we say speaking, we obviously mean that you when you speak in a way that others can understand. You know that what's important and how to convey it. All right. If let's say during your response, you say something incorrect, then you can quickly correct it and give the correct answer because that's what you'll be scored on. So, for example, if the question was which month is the 12th month of the year, then if you first said November, then you can quickly correct it and say December. All right. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that you don't pause for too long. You don't stay stuck for too long because otherwise either the microphone will close or you'll get a very poor score. If you are stuck for too long. So, but if you just want to correct, feel free. You can correct yourself and give the right response. Okay. Um, Now, here are a few things that you should remember, if you want to score well. So, the very first thing is that keep focused and be ready to answer. So, there'll be a large number of questions, maybe 10 questions, one after another. So, treat each question, like it's a new beginning, it's a new section that's beginning on its own. All right. I've seen a lot of students, what they do is that they'll be very enthusiastic and, very ready to go for the first three questions, for the first five questions, but then, they sort of get tired midway and then they lose their focus. So don't let that happen. Each question is a new question and just be ready for it. Keep this in your mind that this is one of the simplest question types that you have in the exam, so it's a good opportunity to, score well here. Okay. Now, don't worry, don't think that you'll be asked questions which will require you to have any specialized information. That won't be the case. So most of the questions they're on general topics, and by your general awareness, by your general knowledge, you most likely already know the answers. But what happens is sometimes, because of the time pressure and the exam pressure, the students they panic, and when you panic, then you tend to make mistakes and you tend to forget even the things that you already knew. So, for example, the question, which is the last month of the year, or which month is the 11th month of the year. So if I ask you which month is the 11th month of the year, everyone knows that it's November, but sometimes students will panic. They'll say October, or they'll just start counting one, two, three, and run out of time. So don't panic. Okay, keep your focus and keep it in mind that there won't be any tone. So with other speaking questions, a lot of them you hear a tone which indicates that now it's your turn to speak, that the microphone has opened and you should start speaking now. But for this question, because the questions are short, so there won't be any tone. Just when the question finishes, the microphone will open up. So be ready. And as I said, you can correct yourself if you made a mistake. All right. There are a few other things that I want you to keep in mind. See, improving your speaking ability or improving your listening ability, it's an ongoing thing. Okay. So what you have to keep in mind is that you put in some effort every day when you are listening to news, when you are picking up the newspaper, or when you hear people speaking. In your mind, try to guess, try to understand. Ask yourself, am I able to understand what they're saying? Okay, am I able to understand what the news is about? Can I identify what the main area is in this particular article that I'm reading in the newspaper? So that daily practice, that's very important. All right. So keep all of these things in mind, and I'm very sure that you'll do very well at this question type. All right. So you're now ready to start practicing. So please go to practice at number one. All the best.